Welcome to the Sober and Happy podcast, where we talk about all things recovery related, how to navigate the challenges that we'll face along the way on our journey towards our best lives, and how we could go from living a life of simply just being sober to a life where we're both sober and happy. Today we're diving into the topic of Sober October, the 1-month challenge where people take a break from alcohol. Whether you're here because you are participating in this challenge or you've already been on your sobriety journey for a while, this episode will offer some powerful insights on how to maximize the experience and some of the potential pitfalls to watch out for if you're considering making this a permanent change in your life. So buckle up, this is going to be a great episode. Welcome back. To start, let's talk about Sober October itself. It's become more popular over the years. It's a 30-day break from alcohol where people test the waters of sobriety. While it's a fantastic opportunity for many to stop drinking, reflect on their habits, and gain some clarity, we need to be honest about what it can and can't do. First of all, if you're listening to this episode because you've decided to challenge yourself by participating in Sober October, I want to say congratulations. Whether this is your first attempt at going sober or you've been doing it for years, choosing to step away from alcohol, even for a month, is a huge victory. The hardest part of change often is deciding just to do it. And if you're here, you've already taken that first step. It takes courage to step outside of what's familiar and push yourself into something new, especially when breaking habits or routines that have been part of your life for a long time. So no matter what happens over the course of this month, I want you to hold on to the fact that you've already taken an important step. You've made the decision to prioritize yourself, your health, and your well-being, and that's something to be proud of. Now, let's talk about the flip side. As great as Sober October can be, it's essential to be mindful of some of the common pitfalls, especially if you're thinking about using this challenge as a stepping stone to quitting drinking long term. One of the biggest traps people fall into with these types of challenge is what I call the relapse date effect. If you're only committing to staying sober for October, you have, even if just subconsciously, already picked November 1st as your relapse date. You may tell yourself that if things go well, you'll stay sober after October, but you may also have that lingering date in your mind. I know this because about 10 years ago, as a way to lose some weight and get in shape, I signed up for one of those 60-day weight loss challenges that many gyms offer. Now, I was absolutely committed to the challenge, but not a permanent lifestyle change. I was losing weight, feeling better, having tons more energy, and people around me were telling me how great I looked. It felt amazing. I knew I wanted to continue to experience all the positive effects I was getting from eating healthy and exercising regularly, but I still had not fully committed to a new way of living. I was just doing a challenge. As day 60 approached, I told myself that I would allow one cheat day after the final weigh-in and immediately get back on track. So I stepped on that scale, was proud of the 25 pounds I lost, posed for the camera for my post-challenge photo, got in my truck, and hit the nearest convenience store. I got a coffee with full sugar French vanilla creamer and 2 maple donuts. Before I could even check out, several other people from the weight loss challenge started coming into the same store with the same idea. We were just holding on to our willpower long enough to complete the challenge. We all had the same cheat day mentality and convinced ourselves so we'd get back on track the next day. Sadly, over the course of the next several months, my cheat day turned into me not only putting back on those 25 pounds I lost, but also putting on another 30, and I ended up being the heaviest I'd ever been. The same thing could happen with alcohol. If you see Sober October as a temporary cleanse rather than an opportunity to deeply reflect on your relationship with drinking, you might find yourself binge drinking as soon as the month is over, undoing any progress that you've made. So, if you're participating in Sober October with the ultimate goal of catapulting into a new life without alcohol, my first tip is simple. Don't just focus on not drinking. Focus on what this challenge could teach you about your life, your habits, and your potential. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it just to see if you can, or are you hoping to learn something about yourself? Do Do you think alcohol is holding you back from achieving your goals and living the life you want? If so, how? Use this as a time to evaluate your relationship with alcohol, rather than seeing this as a test of your willpower or just a break from the physical effects of alcohol. Approach it as an opportunity to understand how drinking affects your life. Make it a daily practice to journal how you're feeling without alcohol. Are you more clear-headed, less anxious? Maybe you're sleeping better or feeling more energized. On the flip side, you might notice yourself struggling in social situations or feeling more irritable. This type of self-awareness is crucial because it helps you understand what role alcohol has been playing in your life. Write down how you feel each day, the challenges that you face, and the wins you experience. This will help you begin to identify patterns and triggers. Throughout the month, pay attention to when you feel like drinking. Is it at social events? After work? When you're stressed? When November rolls around, you'll have a detailed account for your journey to look back on. This could help you decide whether or not alcohol is something you really want back in your life. If you decide to continue your journey beyond 1 month, you'll also have a clearer understanding of the circumstances that drive your desire to drink. During this month, don't just remove alcohol. Add something positive to your life. If you spend the entire month just sitting on your couch counting the days until the month ends, what's the point of doing the challenge? Instead, use the extra time and energy you used to dedicate to drinking to focus on growth instead. Whether it's working out, focusing on a passion project, or learning a new skill, make this month about more than just abstaining. You'll likely experience more energy and mental clarity, so channel that into something productive. As the end of the month approaches, it's important to reflect on the bigger picture. Ask yourself, what happens after October? It's crucial to plan beyond the month. Use the insights you gain to determine if alcohol is something you want to bring back into your life. But don't just dive back into old habits without thought. Ask yourself, did I feel better without drinking? Did I miss it? Why or why not? This month gives you a perfect chance to really look at your relationship with alcohol and decide if life without it might actually be better. Here are some steps you could take to help you evaluate. Number 1, compare your life with and without alcohol. At the end of the month, compare how you felt physically, emotionally, and mentally when you were drinking versus when you weren't. Did you notice positive changes in your mood, energy, or relationships? Were you more productive, healthier, more present in your life? Number 2, challenge your beliefs about alcohol. A lot of people hesitate to quit drinking because of the associations that they've built around it. Maybe you think alcohol is the only way you could have fun at parties, or it's what keeps you connected with your friends. Use this month to reframe those beliefs. What activities have you done this month that you still enjoyed without drinking? Did your relationships with friends and family change, or did you discover you could still bond without alcohol? Number 3, ask yourself, what does alcohol add to your life? For a lot of people, alcohol may seem to add something, whether it's relaxation, confidence, or stress relief. By the end of Sober October, ask yourself honestly what it was adding, and more importantly, what was it taking away? Was it really helping you manage your stress, or was it creating more problems? Was it making you happier, or was it just numbing feelings you didn't want to face? Number 4, consider the long term. If by the end of the month you've noticed significant benefits, it's worth asking, why bring alcohol back into your life at all? What would life look like if you quit for good? What other positive changes could you make with that extra clarity and energy? I want to challenge you to go beyond just making Sober October about not drinking. Use it as a time for reflection, growth, and transformation. Think about what life could look like without alcohol, not just for 30 days, but for good. And if you decide that quitting permanently is the right path, remember, you don't have to do it alone. Join communities, seek support, and keep the momentum going beyond this month. As we wrap up this episode, I want to say that if you're participating in this challenge, congratulations, and I am proud of you. I know change is not easy, and you took the most difficult step to any change, which is getting started. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. If you are, please do me a favor and grab your phone and text one person who you think might benefit from listening to the podcast. That would mean the world to me. New episodes come out each Friday, so I look forward to connecting with you next week. And as always, thank you so much for listening, and keep living sober and happy.